What is up, my friends? Today we are going to take a dive into our top 5 under the radar soft plastics. Now, if you guys follow us along on Sundays, you know that we get tons of stuff constantly coming in, new baits, new innovations, and a lot of these things are super dope, but they just go under the radar for so long, and it takes people a while to really understand them and get with them. So today, we're gonna break down some recent new additions to the shop that we feel you guys would destroy. You'd catch so many fish on if you implemented them. We're gonna show you how to rig them, what they're designed to do. So if you're ready, let's do it. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle. The Hookup Tackle is the world's largest showcase of megabass products, featuring baits and colors not found at any other dealer. The Hookup also offers a wide display of OSP, Evergreen, Deps, Lucky Craft, Jackal, and many more. The Hookup Tackle is owned and operated by family, is staffed by guides and verified tackle nerds who love helping anglers elevate their craft. If you're in the Phoenix area, we'd love to have you stop by our showroom and check out the wonderful world of megabass and the Hookup for yourself. If you shop online, there are almost 10,000 SKUs of megabass products alone, with hundreds of other companies and new products being added daily. So next time you're looking for that hard to find bait, that color your fish have never seen before, or maybe you just want to elevate your game, look at thehookuptackle.com. All right, what's up, my friends? I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, aka the Tackle Otaku, being filmed by my buddy Jeffrey the King. We're the Hookup Tackle USA. Today we are going to dive into some underdog baits. You ready for underdogs, Jeff?
Underdogs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these are baits that are flying under the radar. Nobody's really posting about them. Nobody's really saying much. Some guys are destroying them on them, and they're trying to keep it a little quiet. They're newer baits to the market, or even some of them are baits that have been around for a while, but they're newer to the US audience and maybe just a little weird, so people are a little hesitant. So today we're gonna rig them up. I'm gonna show you guys what to do with these baits. These are all baits that I think you guys could put into your arsenal right now and catch fish on them. So you ready, Jeff?
Oh yeah.
Let's just play and have some fun. All right, so we're gonna start right here. So this is a bait that's actually been getting promoted quite a bit on social media. It's a new bait from Deps Japan. It's called the Deps Frilled Shad. Now, Deps is a brand that's known for their big baits, right? Slide swimmers, their bull shooters, some of their big glide baits, big swim baits, and they're also really known for their soft plastic, especially things like the cover scat, the bull flat, right? So the Frilled Shad kind of is a weird in-between product for them, because there have been baits that have been similar to this in the past with this kind of plastic lip, but they've always been more of a finesse approach, and this is more like a full-size swim bait. So it's taken some guys off, like it just catches you off guard a little bit, right? But once you implement the Frilled Shad correctly, it's a super effective bait, and it should destroy for you guys this fall. So let's take a little bit closer look at the Frilled Shad. So as you can see, it is basically a minnow-shaped plastic. It's about 4 inches long. It does have a belly slit in there, so you can certainly rig it weedless. And it has this like soft plastic, almost crankbait lip, but it's implemented into the head of the bait. And the idea with this is that it's going to give that bait almost like a chatterbait or crankbait type action, where it's going to help it kind of move side by side or side to side. And as it moves left and right, the back of the body is going to just kind of follow it. So you're going to get this really subtle kind of swimming motion. Now, it's available in a ton of colors. They have colors that are made with salt and without salt. So you'll see in the package, some of them will say non-salt color. Others won't say that at all. So the salted ones are going to be more of a full-bodied, and then the non-salt colors are going to be more of a crystal clear transparent, which is cool, because if you're really trying to downsize or match the hatch or be more of a finesse approach, you can go with the non-salt colors, and then when the light goes through them, they're totally transparent, totally clear. They're going to blend into the water a lot more. When you need something that has a little bit more body, you go with the salted version. It's going to have more of a full body. So the way they designed the Frilled Shad to be used was on a jig head. And that's the way that most of this, most of these baits that are in this type of style that have these kind of built-in lips are designed to be used, some type of ball head. Now the challenge is, because this is a longer bait, most little ball heads have, shorter hooks, lighter hooks, right? So if you are going to throw it the way they recommend throwing it on the little ball head, you're going to need to make sure that you find a head that's got a 3 or a 4/0 hook in it. Okay, so Keitech makes a tungsten ball head that has a 3/0 hook. Owner makes their round lockdown that has a 3/0 hook, and you just basically thread it on there, and it's on the little ball head, and that ball head will just kind of help give it some movement, right? I find that it works great also just on a straight swim bait head. So, Picasso Smartmouth head, this is a head that I have just laying around everywhere. This is the head that I use for my A-rigs and for a lot of just traditional, just straight swim bait. But you can literally just rig it straight on there. You're just gonna thread it on. It would be the same if you did this with the ball head, okay? You just wanna make sure that that hook comes straight out the back, and then you can slide that straight on to the head there to where it's straight. And then all it's gonna do is just gonna follow that head, and then this little soft plastic lip is gonna give it that side to side action and give it some movement. Now, we've been playing with this bait because I really, one of the things that's fun about new products is kind of going down the rabbit hole. It's good to know what the bait was designed to do, what the intentions of the bait were, like putting on a jig head, and then it's kind of fun to see what else can we do with that bait, right? Now what can we do with it? And one of the things that we've discovered is that this makes an amazing weedless swim bait. It's super subtle. So, if I tell you, just take a little 4-inch weedless swim bait and throw it out there, you usually would gravitate to something like a Keitech, a Dolive Shad, a Spark Shad, something with a paddle tail, right? So they've seen in some places just millions of paddle tails. It's that same kind of paddle tail movement. Well, here you have a completely different tail. You have this kind of forked tail. It's not a paddle at all, but because of this lip, it's not relying on that paddle to get the side-to-side movement. This front head is giving it the side-to-side swimming movement. So I find that it rigs perfectly on the 4/0 Zappu blading pile driver. You could also rig it on a 5/0 flashy swimmer, works fine as well. I find that this 4/0, the pile driver, is like the perfect fit. And I'm becoming a big fan of this hook. I've always thrown the flashy swimmers, and I love the flashy swimmer. But if you notice, the flashy swimmer's weight is on the front of the bait, and the pile driver, the weight is on the back of the hook. So it's just gonna give the bait a different look, a different action based on where that weight sits on the shank of the hook. So rigging is super simple with this guy. You basically just have to get it started on that spring. And again, you wanna make sure that when you're twisting these, that it's going on nice and straight, okay? On there. The other thing I like about these Zappus is the spring is it's deep, right? So you really gotta twist it on there a lot, but it grips a lot of plastic so it doesn't tear quite as easy as some of the other ones. And then I'll just line it up right there where it should pop out. Again, I'm just gonna make sure it's coming straight out the back there so that it's perfectly straight. And then there you go. And now you've got a weedless presentation with the little blade. You can fish this in super shallow water. You can burn it. You can fish it very fast. You can fish it very slow. But you have this really nice, subtle, natural swim bait movement to complement the paddle tails that all of us are using this time of the year. So definitely give that a look. I think you guys will catch a ton of fish on these baits. They're surprisingly durable. They've got that amazing subtle swim to them. So that is the Deps Frilled Shad, new from Deps, Japan. All right, next bait on my under the radar list is the OSP Dolive Shrimp. Now, shrimp baits, shrimp scents, shrimp designs, super popular in Japan. On Lake Biwa, where a lot of this stuff is designed for, shrimp are one of the main forages for largemouth bass. So a lot of brands will design something in a shrimp look, shrimp flavor. You'll see all the brands do it, right? Evergreen, C4 Shrimp, megabass, bottle shrimp, right? OSP Dolive Shrimp. Now, just because they were designed to kind of mimic a shrimp instead of a crawfish doesn't mean they're not applicable here in the US. One of the cool things about shrimp baits is that they have a ton of beautiful lifelike movement to them. And shrimp baits generally mimic a crawdad very, very well, because shrimp will have tentacles coming off the front, a lot like a crawdad claw, and then usually some type of solid body. So the Dolive Shrimp is one that goes under the radar solely because it says shrimp on it, right? And we're so custom, like we're so brainwashed to think, oh, it's a craw, cool, my fish eat craws. Oh, it's a shad, cool, my fish eat shad, right? Shrimp? Oh, no, my fish don't eat shrimp. But it doesn't matter. It's the same flavor, it's the same scent, but it's a different action than what the fish are seeing with anything else. So the Dolive Shrimp is going to have a little hollow head in there. It has tentacles that come off the front, right? As well as like grooved and ribbed tentacles on the bottom that are going to catch water and they're going to flutter down very uniquely. It has some little legs on the side. They're going to give it a little bit of a tight vibration. It's an amazing bait to throw on a free rig. I know that a lot of you guys have been getting into the free rig as much as me. It's also an amazing bait to throw on a Neko rig. You can wacky rig it. A lot of things you can do with the bottle shrimp, and it comes in all kinds of sizes. The 4-inch size, a 4.8-inch size, you know, all the way up to a big 6-inch size if you want something big and substantial and meaty. So, you know, mix and match the colors. You know, there's green pumpkins, there's bluegills, there's shads, just based on the forage. But you know, implementing some type of shrimp, whether it's the Dolive Shrimp, the bottle shrimp, any of these shrimp type baits will give you just a different look that will be a beautiful, just natural moving creature down there on the bottom. So give that a look, the OSP Dolive Shrimp. All right, up next on my under the radar, and I knew this was going to fly under the radar when I brought it in, but I haven't said anything about it because I wanted everybody to get a chance to grab them if they've been waiting. But this is something that's been on the market in Japan for a couple of years. This is the Reins Radial skirt, right? Now, I know you're probably looking at it and you're going, what the fuck is that, right? But if you've been around fishing for longer than 5 or 6 years, you'll remember back to Yamamoto used to make the hula grub in 2 pieces. Okay, so now when we get a hula grub, it's all one piece, right? You got the double tail and you get the skirt attached, right? Well, it didn't used to come that way. It used to come, you'd buy your double tails, whatever color or size you want, and then you bought your skirts, whatever color you wanted, and you combined the two together and you created your own hula grub, or what we used to call a spider jig, right? Well, this is the same idea. This is a Reins plastic skirt, basically, that you can combine with any other small finesse soft plastic. You could certainly combine this with a Yamamoto double tail and make a full-size, you know, jig or spider jig, or you can combine it with smaller, more finessey baits like a little craw, a smaller double tail, right? And that's really where this is going to shine. So let me rig it for you real quick and show you what I am talking about. So out of the package, this is what this guy looks like. You can see it just kind of looks like a little spider there, right? So you've got a flat side, you've got a cupped side, and you've got these little appendages that are basically just going to create a spider-like bulk, right? We're going to take a little football head, and again, we'll match the football head based on the size of the trailer we're going to put behind it. If you're going to put a, you know, double tail, like a Yamamoto double tail or something, then go with a full-size football head. I'm going to rig it on a small little craw, so I'm going to use like a little Keitech tungsten football head. Okay, and we are going to start with our radial skirt, and we are literally just going to thread it right onto our football head. Okay, so we're going to start with that. Okay. Then I'm going to take just a little 3-inch craw, and again, whatever you want to do is fine. You could put a swim bait on there, you could put a little small double tail, you could put a grub, you know, use your imagination. The radial skirt is just designed to give whatever the bait is just a little bit more bulk, right? So it's just gonna give it a different look. So we'll put a little ring craw on there. Again, we're just gonna kind of thread this on, make sure it's straight on there. Okay, and now what we've done is we've turned our craw into our own little hula grub or spider jig. So we're just giving a little bit more bulk, we're giving a little bit more body to whatever finesse little bait we want to use. And because it's Reins, it's gonna have this beautiful, nice, neutral, buoyant, kind of float to it in the water. So you're just gonna get a lot of action, a lot of vibration, a lot of movement that a, subtle bait otherwise might not get. So it's just a nice little way to dress up your finesse plastics or your big plastics and just give a little bit more life to it. It comes in colors like green pumpkin, right? Watermelon, cinnamons, whites, shads. So you can really and literally mix and match anything you want to do. So if you guys are throwing Neds, little football heads, that kind of stuff, and want something different, the Reins Radial skirt will give you that. All right, next under the radar is a brand new offering from Spro. All right, and some of you know this because you've been paying attention, but others are gonna go, wait a minute, Spro and soft plastics? Well, Spro at ICAST this year launched an entire line of soft plastic baits. And this is a bait here that I think is definitely worth a look, and this is the Spro Sakura, okay? Now, this is designed to be a little Ned bait. It is made out of an elastomer type soft plastic. They're calling it DuraTough. So you're gonna get that same very durable, very buoyant look underwater, similar to what you would get with like a TRD or something like that. All of the Spro soft plastic is poured in Japan, so you're getting Japan-made, Japan quality with all these baits. But the Sakura is just a different look. There's only so many things you can kind of do with a little Ned bait, right? They're only a couple inches long. They basically just kind of look all like a TRD to some extent. This is gonna have just a little different movement on there with that little articulation. It's ribbed all the way around, so it's gonna give off a different push of water. It's gonna trap water different. It's just gonna move slightly different than what you might already be throwing. And if you're already a fan of some of the Z-Man plastics, then this should be an easy addition to the line. You're gonna store it the same way, but just give them a different look. Sakura is available in all the types of colors you would need, right? Like green pumpkins, they've got gobies, they've got shads, they've got perches and bluegills. So you can really mix and match whatever water clarity you guys are dealing with. Spro's also making all kinds of other soft plastics. They've got drop shot baits, they've got little Senko style baits. So definitely worth a look. I know a lot of you guys love the Ned rig. I don't know where Griff is, but he's the world's biggest Ned rig
He is
fan.
the man.
He should be here doing this segment.
I can't wait for them to see our challenge video.
Oh man. Man, did Griff catch him good in that Ned rig
and you
challenge.
still killed him.
Oh, so crazy. But I know Ned rig's a big deal in a lot of the country, so this is something that will be very easy to add to the arsenal and give you just a different look, right? So definitely worth checking out from Spro. That's the brand new Sakura. All right, and then finally, number 5 on my under the radar baits, another one from Deps, and this is a crazy one. This is the Deps BM Hog. Now, at first glance, the BM Hog looks a little wild. What does that look like to you, Jeff? Anything? Or just craziness?
It's just a whole lot of craziness to me.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the BM Hog is, right? It's just a whole lot of craziness. So they kind of took that same Death Hatter body, right? That's more of the flat and wide. They gave it a little bit of an articulation in the head, right? And the head is a little bit more weighted, so it's gonna have some movement. And then they put these crazy big, like double tail arms, and they're kind of on these like solid arm extensions. So instead of all the action being here, they've kind of extended it out so it really gets big and wide. And this thing just thumps and moves, unlike any other bait like this. It works great flipping, pitching, fishing it the same way you would like a brush hog. You can drag it like a Carolina rig. It also looks amazing on a jig as a jig trailer. So if you guys need a big presence, just need something that's gonna push a ton of water and create a lot of movement, the BM Hog can definitely be an answer to what you were looking for. So again, it's available in all the key colors: green pumpkins, green pumpkin chartreuses, reds, black blues, right? But something totally different. Smells amazing. What does that smell like, Jeff?
I'm good off that.
It's good. Deps plastic, BM Hog scent. It'll be super dope. I think you guys will definitely catch a lot of fish on this if you implement it, especially if you guys live in water that's a little bit murkier and they just need a little bit more of a push to find it, or they're feeding on really big craws or really big bait on the bottom. So check it out. New from Deps, the BM Hog. All right, guys, that is a wrap. I hope that was fun. Hope that was insightful. Of course, if you have any questions on any of these products, how to rig them, how to use them, definitely drop down below in the comments. Hit me with your question. I will get to it. Jeff will leave links to all these products as well. So if you have any questions or you want to check any of it out further, you can go through it and take a peek. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the business, and we will see you soon. Peace out.